Welcome to the channel. Imagine this. You're drowning in debt. Bills are piling up, the interest is growing like an overfed beast, and every paycheck feels like it vanishes before you can even enjoy it. Sound familiar? Now, what if I told you there's a method, a secret weapon, that could help you break free faster than you ever thought possible? A strategy that's so powerful, so effective, that thousands have used it to wipe out their debt in record time. And no, it's not some shady loan consolidation trap or a magic get-out-of-debt scheme. It's real, it's backed by psychology, and today we're breaking it down step by step. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to escape debt fast and stay out. Let's kick things off with a real-life example. Meet Lisa. Lisa was like many of us. She had $38,000 in debt, a mix of credit cards, student loans, and an impulsive car purchase that she swore was a good deal at the time. Month after month, she made payments, but nothing seemed to change. Her balances barely moved, and the interest kept eating away at her progress. It felt impossible. Then she discovered a simple shift, a secret method that transformed her financial life. In just 22 months, Lisa paid off every cent of her debt. Today, instead of throwing money at lenders, she's investing, traveling, and actually enjoying her hard-earned cash. What did she do? Stick around, because I'm about to reveal the exact method that helped Lisa and thousands of others escape debt faster than they ever imagined. See, Lisa's situation wasn't unique. Most people struggle with debt not because they don't make enough money, but because they don't have a proven system to pay it off. And that's the key. If you're in debt, you don't just need motivation. You need a bulletproof strategy. So if you're ready to ditch debt for good, hit that subscribe button, because I break down financial success like no one else. All right, let's start by exposing the sneakiest trick that keeps people drowning in debt for decades. And no, it's not about earning more money or avoiding fancy coffee. The real culprit? Minimum payments. Now, at first glance, they seem harmless. A tiny payment, barely noticeable, just enough to keep the wolves at bay. But in reality, they're a financial slow burn, designed to keep you trapped in debt for as long as humanly possible. Here's why. Banks and credit card companies aren't in the business of losing money. They thrive on interest, and the longer you take to pay, the more they make. That's why they set your minimum payment so low, just enough to make you think you're making progress, but not enough to actually escape. Think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to drain a swimming pool with a spoon. You scoop and scoop, but the water level never seems to go down. Meanwhile, the interest hose is turned on full blast, refilling the pool faster than you can empty it. And the craziest part? Most people don't even realize they're stuck. They make their payments every month, thinking they're being responsible, while their debt quietly grows in the background. Now let's say you have a credit card balance, and you stick to only paying the minimum. You might think you'll be done in a few years, right? Wrong. If you actually look at the fine print on your credit card statement, you'll see something shocking. It can take decades to pay off even a moderate balance. And by the time you do, you'll have paid several times what you originally owed. It's a game rigged against you. So, if minimum payments won't cut it, what will? It's time to switch to a strategy that actually works. And that brings us to the secret method to escape debt fast. Ever wonder why some people seem to obliterate their debt effortlessly while others struggle for years? It's not luck, it's not magic, it's strategy. And this method, it's one of the most powerful debt payoff techniques out there. It's called the momentum method. Now, if you've heard of the debt snowball or avalanche method, you're on the right track. But this approach takes the best of both worlds and blends them into something even more powerful. Here's how it works. First, take a good look at your debts and line them up. Not just in any order, but in a way that sets you up for psychological wins while also cutting down interest costs. This is key. Start by organizing them from smallest to largest, just like the classic snowball method. The reason? Small victories create momentum. Each time you knock out a debt, you get a surge of motivation, a boost of energy that makes tackling the next one even easier. But here's the twist. Instead of ignoring interest rates, you need to laser focus on the most expensive debt first. This is the debt that's quietly bleeding you dry, the one with the highest interest rate that's growing like a weed in the background. Now, every extra dollar you can squeeze from your budget, send it directly to this high-interest monster. Attack it relentlessly while keeping the other debts on autopilot with minimum payments. The moment that first high-interest debt is gone, don't stop. Take the payment you were making on it and roll it over to the next biggest debt, like a snowball picking up speed down a hill. What happens next is pure financial magic. With each debt you wipe out, your available cash flow expands, allowing you to eliminate the next one even faster. And the next, until suddenly you're standing on the other side, completely debt-free. Why does this method work so well? Because it taps into both psychology and math. Psychologically, you get the thrill of quick wins, which keeps you motivated and engaged. And mathematically, you're cutting out the biggest interest drain first, meaning you'll pay far less over time. According to research, people who use momentum-based debt payoff strategies are more likely to succeed than those who focus purely on numbers. Because let's be honest, paying off debt isn't just about logic. It's about momentum, motivation, and mindset. Like Zig Ziglar said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And when you start attacking your debt the right way, that's when the real transformation begins. Now let's talk about a crucial piece most people overlook. The psychological trick that changes everything. Let's get real for a second. Paying off debt isn't just about numbers, it's about psychology. If it were purely a math problem, no one would be in debt. We all know that spending more than we earn is bad. We understand that high interest rates are dangerous, yet somehow debt keeps creeping back in. Why? Because logic doesn't always win against emotions, habits, and impulses. Think about the last time you swiped your card for something you didn't really need. There was no deep financial analysis, just a quick rationalization. I deserve this. It's just a little splurge. I'll figure it out later. This is why traditional debt strategies fail for so many people. They focus purely on the math while ignoring the real issue. Our brains are wired to seek short-term rewards. And this is exactly why the momentum method works. It's not just about getting rid of debt, it's about hacking your brain into making better financial decisions. Every time you pay off a debt, no matter how small, it triggers a release of dopamine, your brain's reward chemical. And that little rush of excitement? That's what keeps you moving forward. It's the same reason fitness trainers emphasize tracking small wins. You don't start by running a marathon, you start with 1 mile. When you see progress, you stay motivated. The moment you pay off one debt, you feel it. You see the balance hit 0 and something shifts inside you. Suddenly, you're hungry for that next win. You start cutting unnecessary spending without feeling deprived. You find creative ways to throw extra money at your debt because you want that next victory. And before you know it, you've paid off one debt, then another, then another. That's the power of momentum. It transforms what once felt like an impossible mountain into a series of achievable steps. And step by step, you move toward financial freedom. But if you really want to escape debt fast, there's one more thing that makes all the difference. Let's dive into the ultimate game changer, the powerful strategy that can slash your debt timeline in half and put you on the fast track to financial freedom. Because here's the thing. You can have the perfect strategy, but if you're only working with the same income and the same expenses, progress will always feel slow. The real key? Increasing your attack power. One of the fastest ways to supercharge your debt payoff is to create a dedicated debt fund, an extra stream of income that exists for one purpose, eliminating your debt. It doesn't have to be a second job, but finding a way to bring in additional cash, even temporarily, can shave years off your debt timeline. Freelancing, reselling items you no longer use, tutoring, driving for rideshare services, anything that turns your free time into financial freedom. Now, cutting expenses plays an equally important role. But here's the trick. You don't need to go into extreme budgeting mode. Instead of depriving yourself of everything, focus on eliminating the biggest money drains. Take a hard look at where your cash is leaking. Those unused subscriptions, those harmless impulse buys, those overpriced takeout meals that somehow sneak into your weekly routine. Cutting just a few of these can free up hundreds every month. That's money that can be used to wipe out your debt faster than you ever thought possible. And then there's the hidden gold mine most people overlook. Unexpected windfalls, tax refunds, work bonuses, birthday cash, even that small inheritance from a distant relative you barely knew. Too often, these surprise cash infusions get blown on temporary pleasures. But if you redirect them straight into your debt, you can eliminate months or even years of financial burden in one move. It's about intentional action. Small income boosts, smart expense cuts, a mindset shift that turns every extra dollar into a weapon against debt. And once you see how quickly your balances start to drop, you'll never want to stop. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" so I know. Now let's talk about the final and most crucial piece, how to stay debt-free for good. Escaping debt isn't just about paying it off, it's about staying out for good. Because here's the hard truth, if you don't change your habits, your debt will come back. It's like someone who loses weight but never fixes their eating habits. Eventually, the old patterns creep back in, and before they know it, they're right back where they started. The same thing happens with money. Financial freedom isn't just a one-time win, it's a lifestyle shift. And the key to making it last? A debt-free mindset. The first shift is breaking free from the trap of buy now, pay later schemes. They look innocent, almost helpful. Just a few easy payments. No interest at first, no big deal, right? Wrong. These little conveniences are designed to keep you spending more than you actually have. They make impulse buying feel harmless, but in reality, they're just another way to keep you chained to financial obligations. The real flex? Buying things with money you actually own. Living below your means isn't about deprivation, it's about control. It's knowing that just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. It's about resisting lifestyle inflation, that sneaky habit of upgrading everything the moment your income increases. Instead of letting extra money slip through your fingers, imagine what happens when you keep it, invest it, and put it to work. That's how wealth is built, not through spending, but through strategy. And speaking of strategy, one of the most powerful moves you can make is shifting your mindset from spending to investing. Every extra dollar you free up shouldn't just be an opportunity to buy something new. It should be a tool to build something greater. Whether it's investing in stocks, real estate, or starting your own business, the goal is simple. Make your money work for you. Because once you stop trading time for money and start letting your money grow on its own, that's when true financial freedom begins. A debt-free life isn't just about having zero balances. It's about having options, security, and peace of mind. The ability to say no to stress, to financial anxiety, to being trapped in a cycle of owing and repaying. It's about stepping into a new identity, someone who controls their money instead of being controlled by it. Because once you shift your mindset, debt doesn't stand a chance. And now, let's talk about your next step, the one that will put all of this into action. All right, financial enthusiasts, now that you have the blueprint, it's time to turn knowledge into action. Because let's be real, nothing changes unless you do. You've seen how the momentum method, also known as the debt snowball method, works. You understand the psychology behind why people stay trapped in debt. You now have the strategies to speed up your debt payoff and, most importantly, the mindset to stay debt-free for life. So what's next? It starts right now. with the very next financial decision you make. Maybe that means taking 5 minutes to list out your debts and see where you stand. Maybe it's looking at your budget and spotting just one unnecessary expense you can cut today. Maybe it's setting up that first small extra payment toward the debt that's been weighing you down. Whatever it is, don't wait for a perfect time. There's no lottery ticket coming, no magic reset button. The only way to escape debt fast. The secret method revealed is to start today, even if it's just one step. And here's the best part. Once you take that first step, momentum kicks in. What feels impossible now will soon feel effortless. And before you know it, you'll be looking at your final debt balance, watching it hit zero and realizing you did it. So here's your challenge. Start now. Pick one debt, one habit, one change, and attack it. And if you're serious about financial freedom, hit that subscribe button because there are even bigger money secrets coming your way. Until next time, go crush that debt. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.